Blossom, how are you? Hope you're okay. Today we're going to do a little bit of grammar, okay? I've talked about this in class before. We're going to learn about something called a suffix. Can you say that? Suffix. Fantastic. A suffix is basically you add some letters, some letters that you add to a word to change the meaning, okay? The suffixes that we're going to learn about today are ed and ing. Ed and ing. And we're going to use these at the end of a word to change the meaning. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to talk about verbs. Do you remember what a verb is? That's right. It's a doing word. It's a doing word and it's an action. So let's think about some things that you do. So you run, that's an action. You sleep, that is something that you do. You wave, that is something that you do. You eat, you drink. Can you think of any more things that you do? They're called verbs. Things that you do, anything that you do. What's Mrs. Shaw doing now? I write. I'm sure at home with your families you can think of a whole long list of things that you do. They are called verbs, okay? So just remember that a verb is an action word. An action word. Anything that you do is a verb. So if I was to say to you, spot a verb in a sentence, you've got to spot the word that is something that somebody does. Okay, it's an action word, a verb. I'm going to keep that up there for you. So verb. Lovely. So we're going to look at the suffixes ed and ing. Now, when we're thinking about a verb, we think about the root word. So let's have a think. So let's have to run, to drink, to eat, sleep. Let's do a few more. Wave. You can wave at somebody. You can look at somebody. So these are what we call, they are verbs. These are called the root word. Can you reply that for me? Root word. Well done, you're repeating that for me. The root word. So it's to run. So that's an action. To drink, to eat, to sleep, to wave, to look. Now, we want to use the verb in a sentence and we're going to be using these suffixes at the end to change the meaning. Now the first one, this one, is when you do things in the past. Okay, so I'm going to put past here and I'm going to put future here. And I'm going to just cross this off and put present. So you see that here. And I'm going to do exactly the same here. So I'm going to put present, past, and future. So what I mean by that is the tense is when you are doing it. So present means I'm doing it now. Present is something you're doing right now. Past, it means something that you've done before. You might have done it 10 minutes ago, you might have done it last week, you might have done it yesterday. It's already gone, it's in the past. And then the future means you're going to do it. So you might do it a little bit later on in the day, you might do it next week, you might do it in the afternoon if it's the morning, okay? So present, past and future. So let's now think, because some of these are actually exceptions to the rule where you wouldn't add that, okay? So if you think run, So at the moment, I am running. So I would put running there. Now, if I think that yesterday, I running. Yeah, you wouldn't say I runned. You would say I ran. So that is an exception to the rule. Now, I might think I want to go later for a run. So I'm going to run. I'm going to go running. So I'm going to add that suffix, and it always goes at the end of your root word. Ing at the end. Let's think about this one. The verb, the thing you're going to do is to drink. So at the moment you could say, oh, I'm drinking some juice. So drinking. Can you see we're adding that suffix on the end, the ing. Yesterday would you say drinked? Drinked. You'd say I drank. That is another exception to the rule. Now, Blossom, you tend to use this one in the past, the ed, suffix ed, and you tend to use that one in the present and the future. Present and the future. Drank. So let's think, oh dear, I'm really giving you some tricky ones. A lot of these are really actually quite tricky. So, to eat something. At the moment, I am eating. So we're going to be adding, just like I said, in the present or the future, the ing suffix to eat. And then if you say, oh, this morning I wouldn't say eated my breakfast, even though you have already had it. You would say, I ate my breakfast. And then later, I'm going to eat. Eat. Okay, let's look at this one. So to sleep. Let's think, at the moment, I am sleeping. So that's using our ing suffix, sleeping. Oh, last night I slept in my bed. So that's another exception to the rule, I slept. And then if you were saying, tonight I'm going to go sleep, to sleep. You wouldn't say I'm going to go sleeping. I'm going to go to sleep. Okay, I'm going to go to sleep. So they're a little bit of the exceptions. So let's have a look at these ones here. The verb is to wave. So at the moment I am waving at you. So I am using that ing suffix at the end. And then you could say, I have just waved at you. So you are using the suffix ed at the end, turning it into the past. And then I might wave at you today, wave at you later. That's a little bit different there. But you're thinking, present is right now, past has already happened, and future is going to happen. So let's think about look. So I am looking at you all now through my camera. So looking. Fantastic. And then if you think I looked at you earlier. Looked. And that is our suffix ed at the end. And then you might say I am looking. I will look at you. I might look at that later. So that would just be like that. Now what we sometimes say with our ed, because if you say the word looked, it sounds like a T. So the rhyme that we learn is not T, add ed. Because it sounds, if you put looked, sounds like a T, but it's actually not a T, it's an ed. That's the rhyme, not T, add ed. So that was our practice today of our suffixes which go at the end of our root word, which is our verb. There are some exceptions like I've just said, but the rule with most of the verbs is that if it's already happened, you would add ed, and don't forget it's ed, not T. And then if it's in the present or the future, In some cases, you would add the ing at the end. So that's drank. Later, I will drink something. Mrs. Shaw forgot that one. Okay. So I think what you can do at home for a little bit of extra homework, and you can send me a picture, is do exactly as I've done. So do your 3 columns: present, now, past, happened, future, going to happen, just like I've done. Think of some different verbs, things that you do, anything that you can do. Touch, jump, hop, swim, anything that you do. Make a list down the side and then put them into present, past and future. Don't forget there are some that are the exceptions, like these ones here, but most of them have the ed for the past at the end, ed not t, and then for the present and the future, the ing. But like I said, there are some exceptions here. You've got some exceptions to the rule there. Have a go. Please take a picture and send them in to me. That is the suffix ed for the past and the ing at the end that goes at the end of your root word. And your root word is just your verb. That's what we call the root word. And the suffix always goes at the end. Have a good go, Blossom. Take some photos and send them through to me. Bye.